police have confirmed they believe Stephen Smith's death was a homicide.
The homicide investigation into Stephen Smith's 2015 death receiving fresh law enforcement resources and bringing renewed hope to his family.
Was Buster Murdaugh involved in his classmate's suspicious death?
The rumors that's going around Hampton that everybody keeps coming up to me and saying it was Murdoch boys.
The Murdoch boys?
Yes, whoever they are.
Did the Murdoch family cover it up? Let's explore the confirmed homicide ruling in Stephen Smith's 2015 death. Hey friends, it's me, Lilia P. In this video, I will cover the new homicide ruling in the case of Stephen Smith. We will discuss shocking new information about the police investigation that surrounded his mysterious death. We will cover some of the theories and rumours that surround this case, and information that points to the potential involvement of Buster Smith and other family members. Stick around till the end so you don't miss the shocking revelation that will leave you questioning everything you knew about this case. What is actually known about the death of Stephen Smith? Smith was found dead on July 8, 2015 on Sandy Run Road near the Murdoch property with a blunt force trauma injury to the head. Lawyers for his family say that from the torso down he had no injuries, with no car parts found at the scene. He also supposedly walked 3 miles in the dark without using his phone and left his wallet in the car. Smith's mother, Sandy, said he would not have left his wallet behind and would have at least called his sister. The teen's death was initially ruled a hit and run, but highway patrol officers have since claimed that they did not believe the scene was consistent with a road traffic accident.
First responder Tommy Moore telling our ABC affiliate WCIV that when he found Stephen's body, he didn't think the 19-year-old was hit by a car.
There's two things that come to my mind. Either he was murdered there or he was murdered elsewhere and dropped there.
Last week, Smith's family announced that his body would be exhumed for a private autopsy.
I've been wanting this for the last 8 years, and now it's happening.
The original incident report states, "He pointed out the wound to be a shotgun wound and showed me the entry point. Assistant Coroner Kelly Green then began to show me photographs they took, again pointing to the entry point, to the head, and also a defensive wound to the hand." An EMS worker is noted as having stated that a projectile wound was located on the victim's head. Notes state a hole in the skull was located above the victim's right eye. But when the autopsy was conducted, the manner of death was listed not as homicide, but undetermined. And it was ruled a hit and run.
It appeared to be a homicide.
There's no marks from a vehicle, no skid marks in the roadway, nothing in the grass.
Why on earth would they not have investigated further back in 2015? The evidence clearly pointed to something much more sinister than a simple hit and run. It's really bizarre to me. Now, let's talk about why Buster Murdaugh has been linked to the death, despite his denial of any involvement. In June 2021, it was revealed that police investigating the teen's suspicious death probed witnesses over any relationship the dead boy may have had with Buster. Since then, several documentaries have alleged rumours have swirled in the small town that Buster and his late younger brother Paul were potentially involved in Smith's death. Earlier this week, Buster released a statement denying the vicious rumours. Smith's mother, Sandy, has always maintained that her son, who was gay, was the victim of a hate crime and the murder was covered up. Initial investigators received an anonymous tip raising the question of whether Stephen and Buster Murdaugh had ever had any type of relationship. Investigative notes also show another tip-off which came via anonymous email stating that Dontario Aiken, along with another black male and a white male, who is potentially Murdoch, are the ones involved in the death. Investigators followed up on this and spoke with Aiken about his knowledge of anyone with the last name Murdoch. Aiken said that he knew one of the graduated with the victim, but when questioned, he himself denied being friends with any Murdochs on Facebook and then appeared to indicate he was unsure. When pressed, he stated he never hung out with him or went to any parties hosted by the Murdochs. In another curious inclusion, an officer noted a tip called in on December 18th by a man claiming that his stepson had named a local guy as the one who struck and killed Stephen Smith. The tipster then failed to return any calls, and when finally reached, stated that the reason that he was passing this information on was because Randy Murdoch told him to call. Randy is Paul and Buster's uncle, patriarch Alex Murdoch's brother. Smith's mother, Sandy Smith, wrote in a 2016 letter to the FBI that the Murdoch family quickly injected itself into the 2015 investigation. The first call my family received after the murder was from authorities notifying us of Stephen's death, Smith wrote. The second came very quickly the same morning from solicitor Randolph Murdoch. In fact, he called my ex-husband's cell phone as he waited in the police station for a positive identification. He said he heard of the case and was interested in working pro bono as a liaison between the family and investigators. She recalled how a young man approached Stephen's older brother, Chris, and said he was present when Stephen was murdered and witnessed everything firsthand. He said that Solicitor Murdoch's nephew, Buster Murdaugh, who graduated with Stephen, beat Stephen to death with a baseball bat. He claimed it was because Stephen was gay. She wrote, according to the report, the witness said they were out smashing mailboxes when they came upon Stephen, and Buster seized the opportunity.
And who was that?
Buster Murdaugh.
Okay. And I'll be honest with you, Buster Murdaugh's been on our radar long before this.
More than half of the people interviewed during the investigation mentioned Buster Murdaugh's possible involvement in Smith's death. But despite that, he was never brought in for questioning, despite the clear evidence that this was not just a simple hit and run. If you ask me, this stinks of a cover-up, but I'd be interested to know what you think in the comments below. Now, why has the case been reopened, and what could happen next? South Carolina Law Enforcement Division revealed on Tuesday the 22nd that they did not need to exhume Smith's body in order to convince them that his death was in fact a homicide. SLED officials said they will be present and participate in any exhumation of Stephen's body to gather more evidence. The family attorney Eric Bland said SLED is committed to combining efforts and resources as the state moves forward with exhuming Smith's body. We have a chance to right 8 years of wrongs, and we intend to do just that, Bland said. On Tuesday, attorney Ronnie Richter said there are a number of facts that clearly point to murder. Investigators reopened the case into his death in 2021 following their probe into the deaths of Maggie and Paul Murdoch. But according to Bland, SLED officials said that they were waiting until Murdoch's double murder trial was over to make this announcement because of their concerns over witness testimony. Alex Murdoch, Buster's father, was convicted last month of killing his wife, Maggie, and his son, Paul, and sentenced to life in prison. The spotlight on the double murders shed new light on Stephen Smith's case. We are committed to finding out what really happened and getting the peace and justice the Smith family deserves, Eric Bland and Ronnie Richter said in a joint statement. Buster Murdaugh may finally be required to speak to investigators as part of the inquiry, even if it is to simply rule him out as a suspect. Finally, thank you for sticking around till this point. Let's talk about the shocking information surrounding the initial investigations in Stephen Smith's death. Investigators probing in the 2015 death of Stephen Smith actually ordered an RAPE kit examination of the victim's body, an uncommon move for what was purportedly a traffic accident death, according to recent report. Mike Duncan, a now retired corporal, said it was the first time he had heard of an RAPE kit examination ordered for a death in a traffic collision. The examination was reportedly ordered within 13 hours of the discovery of Smith's remains. Asked if he had seen such a move before, Duncan said, "When it comes to a traffic accident, never. This was the first time. I did not have any understanding of why it was being ordered. We were not notified until later that it had been ordered. So no, I have no answers for you for why they would order it, what would be suspected as a hit and run, which it wasn't, but I will never understand that." Duncan, the supervisor for his unit, said his crew was called off the case around the same time that the RAPE kit was ordered. I was puzzled and confused from the start to when we actually got to finally pick up the case, why we weren't given the opportunity to be part of it from the beginning. He added that investigators were never given any information regarding the results of the kit by the time he retired. Why would they need to order an RAPE kit for what they claim to be a simple hit and run? And why does it appear that there was so much secrecy within the initial investigation? Could it be true that Buster was involved and his family used their substantial power at the time to cover up his wrongdoings? The new information coming to light certainly creates many questions. I am eager to learn more about this complex case as it evolves. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I would really love to hear them. And if you want to stay informed as the case progresses, please like, comment and subscribe. If you are still watching, I just want to say thank you so much for your time and your support. It really does mean the world to me. Until next time, take care, friends.